You have tried everything: the volumizing shampoos, the dry sprays, the round brush technique you watched 3 times on your phone. And your hair still falls flat by noon. Let's fix Stop styling your thin hair wrong. 4 simple steps to fix it together. Because your natural elegance deserves better than a drawer full of products that are not doing their job. I research worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work instantly. Today we are perfecting how you style thin hair. And by part 3 you will want to pause and look in the mirror. I mean it. We are covering your cut, your products, your technique, and the one finishing move most women skip entirely. And the very first step? It starts before you even pick up a brush. Let us go. Part 1. The foundation mistake. Your cut is working against you. Have you ever walked out of a salon feeling like something was not quite right, but you could not explain what? That feeling is real. And for most women with thin hair over 50, the problem started long before you touched a styling product. It started in the chair. Here is the thing most stylists will not tell you plainly. The wrong haircut does not just sit flat. It actively pulls volume away from your face and draws the eye straight down. For your bone structure, that is one of the most aging things a cut can do. This is the one. The second mistake is layers that are too long and too few. Sparse long layers do nothing for fine hair. They create weight at the ends, exactly where you do not want it. What you want instead are shorter, strategic layers that start higher up and create movement through the mid-lengths. Your colorist or stylist can see exactly where to place them for your specific face shape. You do not need to describe the technique. Just ask for layers that build volume at the crown, not the ends. Yes, that's specific. The third mistake is a center part on fine hair. Center parts divide the hair into 2 halves and expose the scalp directly at the top of the head. The most visible point. That exposed line reads as thin. There is one more thing your cut needs, and most women do not know to ask for it. Blunt ends. On fine hair, blunt cut ends create the optical illusion of thickness. Feathered or heavily textured ends on thin hair do the opposite. They taper the hair to almost nothing and make it look even more sparse. If your stylist tends to point cut or texturize your ends heavily, ask them to leave the perimeter clean and blunt. The difference shows up immediately, even before you style. If you are still wearing long layers with a center part, swap it for a jaw-length blunt cut with a soft side part, and watch how much younger your face looks the very next morning. Now that your cut is working for you instead of against you. Part 2. The product mistake that is flattening everything. Let me be honest with you for a second. Most women with thin hair over 50 are using products designed for someone else's hair. And those products, however expensive, however beautifully packaged, are quietly suffocating every strand you have. This is the tip I wish someone had whispered to me years ago. Moisture is not always your friend. Here is the key insight that changes everything once you understand it. Fine hair has a small diameter. It cannot carry weight the way thick hair can. The moment you coat it with a heavy moisturizing product, a thick conditioner, a rich cream, the first product swap is your conditioner. If you are using a rich, thick conditioner from roots to ends, stop. Apply conditioner only from the mid-length to the ends, never at the roots. Your roots need to breathe and lift, not be weighed down. And look for formulas described as lightweight, volumizing, or protein strengthening rather than moisturizing or nourishing. The second swap is in your styling products. Heavy serums, thick leave-ins, and glossing creams are the enemy of thin, fine hair. What you want instead is a lightweight mousse or a volumizing foam applied at the roots while the hair is still slightly damp. Work it in with your fingers from underneath, lifting the hair away from the scalp as you go. The third product mistake is dry shampoo used the wrong way. Dry shampoo can be a volume savior, but only if you apply it correctly. Most women spray it on visible hair and rub it in. That creates buildup and heaviness. Instead, lift sections of hair and spray directly at the roots. Then let it sit for 60 seconds before working it in gently. The powder absorbs oil and adds genuine texture that holds volume all day. Switch that. The fourth mistake is skipping heat protectant because you think your hair is too fragile. Fine aging hair actually needs heat protection more than any other hair type, not less. Without it, each styling session weakens the strand slightly, making it even. Part 3. the blow-dry technique that changes everything. Here is a bold truth most women do not want to hear. You could have the perfect cut. You could have the lightest, most perfectly chosen products. And you could still walk away from the mirror with flat, lifeless hair because of how you are using your dryer. Technique is where thin hair is either saved or lost. And for women over 50 with fine hair, there is one specific mistake that undoes everything else in the routine. Most women blow-dry their hair downward. It feels natural. You tilt your head, you follow the shape of the head, and you dry. This is the technique shift that changes everything. And it is so simple it almost feels wrong when you first try it. Flip your head forward. Dry your roots upside down first. Let the heat and the airflow lift the hair away from the scalp in the opposite direction of how it naturally falls. This is not a complicated move. It takes 2 minutes. And it builds volume at the root that no product alone can create. Honestly, this one technique gave a woman I know her hair back after years of thinking nothing worked for her. Once the roots are dry and lifted, flip back up and use a round brush, a smaller one, not the oversized paddle brush, to wrap each section slightly under or slightly away from the face. Work in sections from. The second technique mistake is using high heat throughout the entire drying process. High heat on fine aging hair causes the cuticle to roughen, and roughened cuticles do not reflect light smoothly, which makes hair look dull and thin simultaneously. Use medium heat for the body of the hair, and switch to the cool setting for the final 30 seconds on each section. That cool finish closes the cuticle and creates a soft natural shine without weight. The blast of cool air also sets the shape you have just created. Think of it as locking in the volume you worked for. This is the move most women skip. Do not be most women. The third technique mistake is over-drying at the ends. Ends on fine hair dry faster than roots. Part 4. The finishing step that makes volume last all day. You did the work. You applied the right products. You flipped your head and dried with intention. Your hair looks incredible right now. And then 3 hours later, it is gone. If that cycle sounds familiar, the problem is not your cut, your products, or your technique. The problem is that you skipped the final step entirely. And this step is the difference between volume that disappears by lunch and volume that is still there when you walk into dinner. Let us fix that today. The first part of this finishing step is setting your style with a light hold flexible spray, not a stiff hairspray, not a firm hold formula. A flexible hold. The second part of this step is the finishing touch most women skip. And the one I cannot believe took me so long to discover myself. A tiny amount of volumizing powder pressed at the crown of the head. Not rubbed in, not layered heavily, just a light press at the roots closest to the scalp, directly at the center and the temples. This creates an almost invisible mattifying texture that grips the hair and holds it up all day without product buildup or visible residue. Your natural elegance shines so much brighter when your crown has real lift instead of flatness, drawing the eye. The third part of this step is about protecting your volume once it is set. Avoid touching your hair throughout the day. Every time your fingers run through fine-styled hair, you are redistributing the product and collapsing the root lift you worked to create. If you need to adjust, use a wide tooth comb or the tip of a pintail comb at the roots only, never dragging through the full length. If your hair starts to fall flat mid-afternoon, do not reach for more product. Instead, flip your head briefly and gently press your fingertips at the roots to wake up the texture already there. Takes 10 seconds. Works every time. Yes, that easy. The final swap, and the one that ties this entire routine together, is moving away from brushing your styled hair and moving toward lifting and separating with your fingers instead. Brushing thin styled hair breaks the texture. You just learned 4 complete steps that most women spend years piecing together alone. The right cut, the right products, the right technique, and the finishing move that makes it all stay. You didn't just watch a video. You changed how you look tomorrow. Tell me in the comments, which of these 4 steps were you skipping without realizing it? I want to know which one hit you hardest. Next time, we are tackling the one accessory mistake that adds a full decade overnight, and the swap takes 30 seconds. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.